So Erik, first question is obvious. How are you? Do you still have this headache problem with eyes and things like this?
Yeah, right now, it's just every day's kind of different. Sometimes in the morning after I shower, I can feel good for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. But most days it's kind of the same thing. You wake up and it's just a matter of how bad your headache is. My biggest thing is, with the eyes, the vision, kind of the dizziness. So it's an everyday thing, but something, you try to do massage work, chiropractic work. They have pills for the headache to try to minimize it. But, in the end, you have to just kind of sit and rest and, hope to get better. For me, even if it's 1, 2, 3% better from last month or 4 months ago, I think, for me that's positive right now. And after Christmas I started to feel a little better in the morning, and I tried to do stretching, but after that it was, I didn't feel good for 3-4 days. So right now it's just, rest and just kind of trying to, live day by day.
What are you trying to recover? Doctor, what are you suggesting you to do?
There's, you kind of have 5, 6, 7 different symptoms. So when you look at it, for me, with the headache, 15 out of 30 days I can take a pill, to try to minimize it. With depression, anxiety, it's seeing a psychologist, trying to talk things out, kind of, where your head is, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad. With fatigue and dizziness and your vision, all you can do with that is rest, close your eyes, kind of, meditate or stuff like that. So, depending on the different situations or the different symptoms, you just try different things. And, as far as physically, it's chiropractic work, massage work, just to kind of flush the body and try to make it kind of, like I tell a lot of people, just temporary release. It feels good for that hour or that 20 minutes that you get work done, and try to increase that time, each month and see where you can improve. It's hard, to be honest, because, both obviously personally with my family, with my son, it's hard because even, reading a book or trying to sit and play with them, I can't do much. And, with my wife, it's been difficult too, just because I'm, emotional, I say angry, irritable. I don't like to talk about a lot of things. And professionally with hockey, today I went to the rink for the first time, and, it's hard to go there and know that, you're not playing right now. So it's difficult, but, the fans, here in Ambry and, especially where I live here in Monte Carlo, they've been very supportive and, talk about my health first, and getting better as a person, and then obviously, miss me on the ice and trying to do, how they say, spectacular, eh? So. Sometimes, on the internet, I'll look, you can go to YouTube, and I'll put in, watch highlights from the Lugano game when we won 6-0, or, different clips that they have on there, like the highlights, the Bern game when I scored, I think it was a record in overtime, yeah, and it's motivation, and I sometimes, if I feel down, I'll go on and I'll watch that and I'll be like, hey, kind of motivation,
Are you worried that this problem won't go away?
No, I think, early I was, you get worried or you get, but for me, like in English you say the light at the end of the tunnel, and for me it's, being able to do things with my kids normal, and being able to play hockey. And I think that's my hope, and that's why each day, I just try to take a small step forward, and however I can do that mentally, more importantly, and then after that, physically. My kids, they know, my son, well, my one son who's 3.5, he's like, Daddy, is your head okay? And he's like, do you have a headache? Can we play? And, a lot of times I'll just, sit on the floor and, he can drive his trucks or cars next to me and, I can sit and try to play, but, even doing that, it gets hard on my mind, and it's difficult because, when I grew up, my dad was, playing hockey with me, and he was playing cars and trucks and reading books, and, I try to do those things, but at the same time, my son, we've talked to him and he understands, and, it's been difficult. At the moment, you look really dizzy. You look blurry. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. After talking to you for a long time.
That's too much? Do you want to stop?
No, it's fine. I can finish, but it's it's weird. But at the moment, as far as, I think for me, it's obviously personal first. Me as a person and raising my children, and I think that's obviously the most important thing. And the second thing is becoming a hockey player again. So I think once you get that first thing taken care of and you're 100%, then the decision of hockey can become a lot easier. I think when you first come here or you first come to any team, it's because of the player. People don't know you, they just know you as a hockey player. So for me, when I play with my heart, I play with passion, and when I came here, it was after the first 2-3 months, I knew it was a special place, and I think that's how I connected, with not only my team but the fans and the people in the area. And I think now, after they love you as a player, they start to love you as a person, and I think I can tell that, especially in the bad times, that's when you can see what people think of you. And for me, being around here, especially the community here, and even the community in Ambry, I've got a lot of different people writing or calling or sending letters and, expressing for me to get better. And, obviously they miss what I can do on the ice, but, their most important thing is just me as a person. That Freeburg game, I remember telling myself, hey, this is where it's going to change. This is where you're going to, go back to the player you were, 2 years ago or before your concussion the other time. And, I just remember playing in that game, and, when I got hit behind the net there, kind of went black, got shooken up. I remember coming to the bench, thinking, I feel okay. I wanted to push through and play and, kind of help my team out because we were tied. And by the end of the game, I remember the coach coming to me and saying, Erik, you played awesome, but the last 10-15 minutes, it's not you. And then I knew, that, when you talk to doctors, they ask you what your coaches and players think and say, and, they knew that, it wasn't a good situation, and, finishing the game probably wasn't a good idea, but at the same time, it's, adrenaline, emotion, and you can't really feel your body, so to speak, and listen to it until, after the game's done.
But there were people saying, okay, next hit for Erik Westrum will be the last one.
Well, as far as professionally, doctors, nobody said that, but I'm sure fans or, maybe teammates or people around maybe kind of thought that. But, as far as a professional opinion, it was, medically there's no reason you shouldn't play. It's, your decision, just like every year, whether you have a bad knee or a bad back or a bad head, it's kind of the player's decision unless a doctor says, if a doctor came to me, next year or 2 years from now and said, hey, you shouldn't play, then, obviously you shouldn't play. But when you're 100%, and you love the game, that's what you're going to do. I'm still a hockey player, and that's my identity right now. And it's you know, I hope it continues, and I hope I can you know, build on a new season. You know, whether it's next year or the year after. I don't think, you know, whether you're out for, you know, a month or you're out for 2 or 3 years. I think it's the person and it's the commitment level. You know, and if you want to be a hockey player and you want to continue to, I think that's something only the person can work on and can decide.
But when will you know if you will be able to play again or not?
I don't know. I think it's, you know, you take it, like I said, a day at a time. And, you know, it's, you know, each month and each year you have to reevaluate. You know, obviously the longer you're out of the game, you know, and the longer I can't do physical activity, the harder it is, you know, to get back to how I used to play, you know. So I think, you know, as each month goes on, you know, I think you have to try to just work on yourself and work on your situation, and when the time is right, make the decision.